Hey everyone, Mikkel here from the Expat Money Show. I am here in beautiful Japan. It is a little bit rain and cold outside, so I'm just sitting in the hotel right now. I'm just in Narita. So today I want to talk to you about a couple of really cool things really key things that I think people need to keep in mind as an expat, because a lot of times people don't seem to remember this. We are not the same as everyone else. Being an expat, although it is amazing and I absolutely love it, there's some things that you need to remember. So number one is, it is not your host country. It is not your home country. I've been an expat for like almost 20 years now, working as a professional in various jobs around the planet, in Australia and New Zealand and Singapore and the Middle East and all these things. So I was out for dinner last night with a friend of mine here in Japan, and she was telling me about how unexpectedly her father passed away. And it's like unbelievably heartbreaking, because actually the person who had sponsored her father's visa to be an expat had decided to close the company. So when she closed the company, although the father still had the visa, their health insurance was canceled, and they didn't even have like private health insurance because they were relying on the business. So what ends up happening is he gets sick, and all of a sudden he passes away, which is unbelievably tragic. So in your normal country where you were born, you might have some type of rights or some type of things to your advantage. But as an expat, you can't even, you have to pay for everything. You need to pay for, to have the body to send back. So repatriation, that's not a word. So basically, having the body sent back to your home country. And my friend, who is just like a girl in her 20s, ended up having to pay for everything. So all of her savings that she had saved for years had to go towards paying to have her father's body sent back. So as if things were not stressful enough, this had to happen. Also, they freeze all the bank accounts. So her and her mother couldn't get access to any of the funds. So things like this happen all the time. So things are different as an expat. These are all things that you need to keep in mind. Take, for example, not just health insurance and life insurance, but what happens when you lose your job? Like if I lose my job tomorrow, number one, I don't have a visa to stay in the country any longer. I'll have a couple of weeks to get out. So that means the same with my family, because my family is underneath my visa. So that can be a little bit stressful. Also, if I lose my job, then they take away my apartment, because my apartment is covered by my company. So now I have no job, I have no visa, I have no accommodation. Oh, and then they will freeze your bank account because if you're not employed, so like your credit card, everything like that. So you might not have access to funds as well. So these are all things that you need to keep in mind, all things that you need to put into place in your life. So at the Expat Money Show, we talk about things like this. We talk about how to increase your income so that you have money to fall back on. We talk about having insurance and having backup plans and having a systematic approach to everything that you do. You need to be really careful, guys, because I've seen this over and over and over again. People decide that they want to move overseas and they have a lot of fun, but they have these goals of earning a lot of money, maybe saving up for a house back in their home country. And what ends up happening is they're not careful with their money. They're not careful with what they do. They haven't made themselves valuable enough to their companies, to their businesses. They don't have multiple streams of income. And then when something happens, like my friend's father passing away, it can set you so far behind. If you're not careful with your finances, you get into a little bit of debt. The credit card and consumer debt in overseas can be brutal. And say for a credit card in Canada, the maximum I would pay would be maybe 19% if I carried an interest, which obviously I don't, because I don't believe in consumer debt. But in the Middle East, where I live in Abu Dhabi, The regular amount is around 35% to 40% in credit card fees. So basically, if you carry debt on your credit card, everything you pay for is going to cost you, 35 to 40% more. If you're not paying attention to these types of things, if you just think that it's like it is in your home country, maybe you'll get yourself into trouble. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. People are not paying attention. They're not working towards making things better. They're not structuring their lives so that they're a bit more systematic in how they approach these types of things. So these are all things that I really want to discuss on the Expat Money Show. I want to help people because I just feel like there's too many easy mistakes, too many things that are happening that with just a little bit of guidance, a little bit of research, big problems can be avoided. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're catching the replay, type in #replay. Let me know how it goes. And of course, make sure you tune into every episode of the Expat Money Show. We go new episodes every Friday and new blog posts every Monday. So you'll hear from me at least twice a week. And you can definitely check us out on iTunes. You can check us out on Stitcher or anywhere that popular podcasts are found. And of course, visit us at expatmoneyshow.com. Thanks, guys.